end of October 2023, including Halloween, with the Lovelocks in Sunninghill. This would be a rough cut photo trail. Yes, I'm sorry I haven't taken that off yet. Right, standard introduction. Where we live, 22 Armitage Court, warning signs about fierce guard cats, and so-called Robin's Corner, where GPS was tested at this spot from the late 1980s. Yes, the garden sculpture that June got Robin for the birthday present a couple of years ago. Yeah, the oak tree that sprung up from an acorn. Halloween stuff, we've got to clear this away. Yes, that's June's car with a website. It was business decades ago, now it's just hobbies and charitable causes, mostly having fun. Yeah, Robin's bicycle. Yeah, we had a shower of rain. I've still got to unblock that drain. Only a job. This is a project a little while ago. Yeah, place for Toadie to hang out and with armed mice. A lot of people have seen this, but this is, got to step over the puddle carefully. This is for the few people who haven't seen these videos of photo trails. So we come to the front door, and of course all this stuff has got to be cleared away because Halloween was yesterday when I shot this. And yes, that's the robot boat is inside now, but this was the camper that was used to take the robot boat down to the seaside last year, and it's got battle damage. June said Robin did it. Robin said the wall did it, but the wall is okay. Now, with any work on the camper, I don't want that bit changed. Now, before we go into the house, we have important health and safety. I've got an obligation to give you that. And so, yes, the Halloween stuff will go, but there are warning signs that have been here for years about cameras, not particularly hidden, and not just cameras, but water squirters. And you have to read the small print about water squirters. There, I've done the health and safety, so we can go into the house. Now, it's very difficult to do this without setting this thing off. Oh, yeah, don't worry, that'll be going. Yeah, stuff over to be cleared away. So, right, we'll go first. Very untidy games room, and part of these videos is a little advert. Yes, we need help to put things in the right place, and this is where I've got Samantha works from home, just there. But all this rubbish around, but it's not rubbish, it's got to be put in the right place. And here's the robot boat being prepared for the next attempt, and this is a better place because it gets some sunlight when the sun's out to check out the total system, including power. Yes, it's got to put stuff. Okay, can't go into too much stuff, there's not time, but the main thing is I'd like us to get all this stuff put away into the places that we have already in the garden sheds and workshops and laboratories and things. And into the kitchen, yes, guys, June's got the tennis on, and yeah, doing women's work. And yes, that's an important outstanding job, which is we've had the plastering, everything done for these two skylights, and we now want to have them lined with mirrors, and it's all down to get in the right product. So that's a very topical subject that comes up. And a glance at my untidy study. There, that's all you want to see of that. Lots of friends' pictures and things up on the walls. Yes, through into the lounge, and yes, the website is up there at the moment, and that's how it should appear, but it won't appear like that on a smartphone that way round. Yes, this is Robin's Naughty Corner, and although I've got stuff like that there at the moment, just a temporary arrangement, I tend to sit here so I can watch the closed circuit TV and while I'm relaxing. Right, I think that is pretty well it. We're now going to go into those long photo trails, and I warn you, they will be long, but they're very much an aid to my memory and made them more powerful by being shared with anybody. And I've got a large network of friends around the world, and some of them are experts on all sorts of things. Right, what I will say is, before we go into the photo trail, at the very end there's several minutes where the two subjects dealt with. One of them is global warming and the prophetic words of James Lovelock. And in short, global warming is going to happen and you haven't seen anything yet. The other one is my suggestions about what might happen related to the DVLA. I still haven't got my driving licence. Anyhow, now into those long photo trails. Lots of different subjects dealt with, and let's see. Saturday the 28th of October 2023. Yeah, the usual mix of tennis, trackers and various other things. This is the summary, lasting a little over a minute, of what is about 8 or 9 minutes of photo trail. Yeah, so that was interesting. The dialogue related to AMRA, the Residents Association, and also most of my time was spent on preparing the wedding page. And what was interesting is when I sent a link by email, there were visits from the States, something to do with the handling of email or apps, probably an automated visit. Yeah, a lovely photo from Sally that's plugged into the family page now, and looks like, yeah, listen to the Radio 4 news, obviously serious stuff. Had my dinner in my naughty corner so I could watch the closed circuit TV. A rather wet pussycat came in to join us while June watched the TV. I looked at the closed circuit TV and visited by the foxes and any other wildlife. June watched, yes, Angel I think it is, and I decided no, I'll take a walk down to the village. I was okay walking down there, it wasn't wet walking down. Had my glass of wine, yes, took a photo or two carefully, yeah, and there was rugby on. Checked the tracker, spoke to Terry, but yeah, got back in the rain, got a bit wet. The cat was even wetter, and yeah, so that's the end of the summary. So now into the photo trail. Yeah, so started off doing a bit of work on the, basically what will be the wedding page, checking trackers occasionally just to, yeah, because things were all happening at the same time, of course. The women playing tennis, and yeah, so that tracker June was carrying, the white tracker, that seemed to be working. And yeah, looked at the closed circuit TV. The reason I looked at that, it's across the room, was I saw that they'd come in, and that was the tracker that June had carried. And yeah, by then, even it was within seconds rather than minutes, it's shown it on the screen. So went out, took a snap or two. Yes, there's a website, just hobbies and charities, no longer business, that was decades ago. Oh yes, very interesting for some people, which is their Residents Association. There's a dialogue there, and I found old information, really fantastic stuff, newsletters and stuff that's been public for years. on the AMRA page, Armitage Murray Residents Association. Of course, while I'm doing this, the cat is coming round. That's Toady, generally causing annoyance. Oh yeah, June helped by identifying, mostly pulling information that we'd already been given from people like Saskia on who was at the wedding, so that that could be included in the wedding page, which will be public by the time you hear this. And yeah, so I then see how it worked on a smartphone, which may not have a big enough screen. And then the surprise is the email I'd sent June with a link had resulted, within a minute of the email being sent, it resulted in visits from the States. So I suspect that was completely automated and some side effect of somewhere along the system, the email handling or the apps in June's phone. Doesn't really matter. And what I liked is that they were quite open, and they might have disguised, they might have been from somewhere completely different. Anyhow, that was just interesting, and so I go through things like making sure stuff's backed up that I'm changing. Oh yeah, so that's how, just here, I usually come up as Redhill. I don't, that's just the way the visit counter works, it's not that accurate. And there's a lovely old photo that Sally had sent a few days earlier from, I think, 1999, I think it was. So that's been added. There's the peanuts out, looking at the closed circuit TV, I suppose. And looks like listening to the news. Yeah, looking at the rain radar. See whether there's a problem there. But June's called dinner. Pizza she's made. So they're eating that and watching tennis in the kitchen. That's where we might fit some mirrors. And I take my dinner into the naughty corner in the lounge so I can eat my pizza. And yes, the pussycat, he's come and had his dinner. And yes, the smart fridge works quite well. So yeah, pussycat. Oh, then Michelle does a WhatsApp video chat. We didn't have many people in that other than Michelle, the Saturday night one, and she was more interested in having a dialogue with Toady the pussycat. Then June retires back to the lounge. Yes, watches boring stuff. I'm more interested in looking at what's been happening on the closed circuit TV. And yes, usual visit from the fox or foxes, having the peanuts. That's on the front porch. That one was a little bit nervous. I think, well, nervous is the wrong word, wary. I think there was another fox who wanted to take the peanuts as well. Anyhow, these foxes also go on the back bridge, and then I suddenly noticed that by the early hours all the peanuts are gone. So I looked back the previous evening, and sure enough, there's a great big pile of peanuts left there, and yeah, the fox eating, and then they're all gone. So that fox has pretty well eaten all the peanuts on the top bridge behind. Oh yes, I think that's Angel that June's watching. Or is it Buffy the Vampire? I don't know. Anyhow, don't really mind what she's watching, so I reckon it's time to stretch my legs. There was a gap in the showers, so it was a nice walk down to the village, check out the camera in low light, and into the Comrades Club, force myself to have a glass of wine, watch the rugby, which was South Africa versus New Zealand, check out the tracker. Yes, anybody interested? Oh, Robin's in the Comrades Club. And I visited that wedding page as well and checked what the Comrades Wi-Fi said, and it said it was somewhere in the UK. Got a call. Oh, I've made a call with Terry because of South Africa having won. And then time to leave the Comrades Club. Yeah, but it's raining. Not that heavily, but enough to get a bit damp. So I walked very briskly back. So I suppose that was better exercise. So got back home. Yes, the robot boat not much done that day. Yeah, a bit damp. So yes, and the cat's come in as well. Dry himself on June, and yeah, so they're watching the TV still. I tidy up a few things, not so much the wires, but backups and things. So that's the end of that photo trail. Sunday the 29th of October 2023, 2 minute summary as part of the full, what is it, 9.5 minutes or something total. One of the topics of conversation with the residents. Also the coincidence which led me to contact my friend David in Israel, and the result of that was good news despite the circumstances. Put out the peanuts. Yeah, time to decorate things. June had decided to start putting out Halloween stuff. It's a day or two to go. I took some nice video off the closed circuit TV box of the badger and the fox at the same time, and yeah, there's the foxes. And I checked out that bit of mischief, which is the barked box, and pressed the button, and yes, I've scared the fox. Boring television that June's watching, so I decide to walk down to the Comrades Club, have a glass of wine, yeah, check the tracker. Yes, anybody can say, oh, that's where Robin is. Yes, some friends of checked the rain radar when it was time to come back. Thought it'd be okay, but sure enough there was a bit of drizzle, but got a bit wet, but no big problem. Came back into the house. Yes, all the Halloween stuff greeting me, toady eating, and yeah, you want to put some mirrors up there, and yeah, so that's the end of the summary. So now into the photo trail itself, if I can keep up, that is. So usual routines in the morning, including checking emails and things, conversations with the local residents, and yes, anybody know where that black and white cat that Chase Bentley comes from? And June watching the tennis, and having a snack, and yes, I get a tip off that what was the cost cutter is going to be a Tesco Express. Bentley came over, have his meal. Yes, very tasty, he says. Thank you very much. And yes, Bentley's from opposite. Now this is where the coincidence is. I thought I'd set up a Google group called Amara, and it turns out that was already taken by, well, it seems to be a university in Israel, and that prompted me to contact our old friend over there. This, because obviously everybody knows the bad news at the moment, and yeah, so I'm probably going around. I decided to move that boat into a better place in the games room, where it'd get more sun through the window and much easier to do jobs like soldering. So I moved the boat, but I thought, right, I'm going to brush up some of the leaves and things that are in the porch, and put the broom back in the right place. The right place meaning where we remember it was, particularly June. So that's in a much better place. That's the work that I will be doing when I get a chance. And yes, I thought, yeah, I may as well put the peanuts, even though it's quite early in the day. The fox eats all those peanuts that are left out on the back ridge. And yeah, a few items that have been there for a while. Down to the bottom bridge, and yeah, looking back up past the gunnerer and the little device, and front porch, the road, and
yeah, those are the Halloween lights that June bought recently and put up. Suppose it's alright. Better get all the other stuff out that's been in the laboratory since last year. So bring all that stuff round. Oh, she says, I'm cooking at the moment. Yes, so when we get a chance, I put the stuff out, and then June comes out and, well, stuff is still cooking, and helps trying to remember how we switch things on, and they worked. Find the best place to put them. And yeah, there's June's lights coming up nicely. That's a close-up on one of them. And June takes me for a little run down to the village so we can more quickly pop into Sunninghill Wines and pick up a lot of Red Bull. Just a quick way of doing it. And then back to the house, and of course, yes, that works very well. And listen to the Radio 4 news, and I get a reply from David, which in fact was good news from, well, I'd say no more. It's a matter of, it was good news from him, even though the tragic things that are going on. And then decided, yes, there's that video of the badger and the fox eating peanuts at pretty well the same time. So I had to remind myself how to get the required video clip off the closed circuit TV. That was a little while since I last did that, and yeah, seem to have found the right clip. So I've got it on a USB stick, and I renamed it so it was a bit clear what it was, and then took that into the study, I suppose you call it, so that I got to offload it from the USB stick and use it within the video editor. Yeah, checking the time, and yeah, because June is called food to be ready soon, I think. And there's Toadie. Oh yes, we did find that other church magazine, and so now it's time to eat. So I do my usual thing and take the food into the lounge and Robin's naughty corner, so I can sit more comfortably, enjoy the food, and of course whatever's happening live on the closed circuit TV. And sometimes I might combine that with looking at what's happened over the last 24 hours. And there we go, 2 foxes at the same time. And yeah, that looks as though that video is pretty well processed. It's on YouTube and it's got subtitles which can be translated into any language. That's brilliant. And probably listening to the news there, looking at the fox. Oh yes, I try out that fart box by pressing it when the fox is there, and there it is hidden under the gnome, and the fox runs away. Could have been a coincidence, or you said, oh, what was that? Yes, and that's where it is, hidden under the gnome. But Halloween will have happened by the time anybody sees this bit of the video. Yeah, so June's still watching television, which I find rather boring compared with taking a walk down the road into the village. So at the front door, yes, that works very well. Any vibration sets it off. June's lights have come on nicely. So walk down to the village and into the Comrades Club, have a glass of wine, 1 or 2 pictures inside carefully. Yes, looks as though there's Grand Prix on. And yes, anybody could see where Robin was on the tracker. And enjoy watching some friends play snooker. Yeah, check whether the video works on my smartphone. I say my smartphone, but I'd rather have an ordinary one. Still finding out to do it. Check the rain radar. Be good if when I walk back, if it's not belting down with rain, and it seems to say it's going to be okay at that time. yeah, 11:30, so should be okay. But when I get out, no, it was still drizzling, and of course probably had been heavier. Luckily no cars came past and splashed me, so got back home okay. Yes, all the Halloween stuff is ready there. Go in, that works nicely. Oh yes, just a glance at the warning sign. Yes, that worked, came on nicely. So back in, and of course it was quite late, so perhaps they'd gone up already. June's just tidying up. Reminder, we want some mirrors to line those sides of the skylights. So that's the end of the photo trail. Monday the 30th of October 2023, that's the 2-minute summary of what's a 13.5-minute photo trail. Yeah, so what happened there? Yeah, June did the shopping, pointed out that I had some paint that I'd got on the slabs. Oh dear. So I had to go at cleaning some of that off. Yeah, processing the video from the day before, dropping some material into new neighbours. Cat Bentley decides to come over for his usual food. Pop down to the Bansals to spend some time with them, including their doggy Romeo. Yeah, enjoyable. And also noticed that what was Cost Cutters is going to be a Tesco Express. So got back, decided to put the peanuts out while it was still light, and that little fella is now back in place. But I'd also spent time on looking on the closed circuit TV of when that had happened. Got knocked in by the foxes. Decided to adjust the camera. Yeah, check the closed circuit TV. June watching something on the television which I find rather boring. So am I off down to the Comrades Club perhaps? That looks as though that's what I'm doing. Yes, so have my glass of wine. Yeah, anybody can see where I am. And coming back again. Yes, stuff is all ready for Halloween the next day. And right, that's the end of that trail. The summary. So now into the photo trail itself. So first thing, June's doing the shopping. So the Spot Satcom tracker, which is destined to go in the boat, shows where she is. The pensioner tracker, the white one, which she also carries, shows very well. That's it, at Tesco at Martin's Heron. So I'll process another video from the day before, effectively doing what I'm doing right now for this days. Yeah, looking at the boat and putting it into a slightly better position in the room, catch the sun. Samantha working from home, Toady Air Cat. What am I looking at there? Just seen that June has arrived back with the shopping. So she points out, yes, I got that paint from the boat on there. Oh dear, that was international perfection. Really long-lasting paint for the boat. So how am I going to? Oh yeah, it was hard work moving the shopping in. So June's looking at some people call it junk mail. I found it interesting. It was advertised in a retirement home, and it's where Sunninghill College was, or rather, yeah, where the Sunninghill Agreement was. Anyhow, where it was signed. Yeah, processing a video. Yeah, so that was a civil service college, I think. Yeah, so that's preparing some material to be popped in an envelope and be delivered where we've got new neighbours moving in. And yeah, a few snaps of the garden. Oh yes, that still outstanding. I've got to unblock that drain. Simple enough job, just finding the time to do it. Bentley, the cat from opposite, decides to prowl around. I put that tracker, after charging it up a bit, back into the car, or am I just taking it out? I don't know. Bentley comes over, Samantha still works charge. that was it. And what's good is that the software shows that it's got a low battery, still working, but warning you the battery was low. Yeah, and there are various attempts at using different tools to chip off that paint. I made some progress, which is always the easiest thing. I'd realised the camera needs to be adjusted, so that was very easy actually, just to push it up a little bit, and now, yes, anybody come into the door, you'd see all of them. June's rustling up some food. Reminder about the mirrors that we want in our skylights in the kitchen. And it's gradually getting darker, as you can see. Time to put the peanuts out. Much easier to do it then. And including the bottom bridge. And yeah, including, that's a infrared operated light that comes on. Making my way back up the garden. Yeah, there's the telescope. There's the old vintage pump, which is part of the drainage of the water. Put the peanuts on the front porch and also on the road. And yeah, all the decorations for Halloween are ready. Put the peanuts back where they're normally kept in the games room. So notice that was broken, and also fished out the little fisherman that had been missing for a few days. Obviously knocked into the water, well, by the foxes was the best guess, and it worked out to be correct. So yeah, looking at that. Oh yeah, June's tracker. So June's decided to go walking off, but I can guess where she's gone. She's almost certainly decided to go down and see Belle, because there was a phone call from her, I think it was the day before. So yeah, I'll go down with her. You see it's quite light still, and yeah, opposite the Comrades Club. So I joined them, and yeah, it's a nice time, particularly with Romeo, the doggy that likes to jump up and lick you. So yeah, took some lovely pictures there, and Belle showed her something on the smartphone, loads of stuff, but what I will show you is that Nick. And yeah, hello Romeo. Yeah, there was of course sad news on from there. So time to go back. You see it's darker, so it was a time. Oh yes, that's the pictures outside the shop. They called it Sunninghill Express, but it was Tesco Express, I think. Yeah, so making my way back up the road into Armitage Court. Partly this is a check on the camera, of course. Yeah, decorations for Halloween. And yeah, back home. Light comes on okay, where it gets a bit of light out at the same time that's going on the boat. It's a better spot for light. Yes, Halloween decorations that June got, they're all working as they should. Come to the porch. Yes, that works well. June's rustling up dinner by the look of it. Some others I had hers early, I think, because she was going to go out. Yes, that's myself. So the camera position is better now. Moved up, catches more. I'm probably checking out my tracker. Yes, it shows my walk. And yeah, oh, that's my tracker, showing the time I spent down there, including walking further down the village. Check the email, and yeah, then there's the Spot Satcoms tracker. Of course, has been charged up. That seems to be working okay. And yeah, decide to put the Spot T2 tracker into June's car, where it was before, just in a little box, self-contained, operating off a battery, nothing to charge it. And Samantha goes off to tennis. then June and I eat. I take my food through as usual into the lounge and Robin's naughty corner, where I can look at the closed circuit TV. And yes, that's when it was the 26th at 23:45, where the foxes knocked that little fisherman into the water. Now there's the other fox that had been lurking in the background coming out, and there was a bit of a tussle between the foxes. In fact, it was so quick that it was all very blurred, but essentially one of the foxes fell into the water. You can see him on the left just about, and in the process of getting out and still having tussles with the other fox, the little fisherman get knocked into the water. See, yeah, it's gone now. There, what do you expect? Anyhow, I put all of that onto closed circuit TV video on a USB stick. It took a while to remember how to do it, but if we want the full video, I've got it on file, even if it's only about 3 minutes worth or even less. Just checking other things. Oh yeah, the light. Yeah, because hasn't had much light there. So what are we doing now? June is, I think, watching something which Robin finds boring. I put things on charge there, probably including the camera, made a few notes of the closed circuit TV, things that happened, and yes, there's live a fox on the top bridge just outside the window, and there's our cat Toadie looking out the window for things like foxes coming. Yes, that seemed to be working alright. Yeah, there's the fox coming for the peanuts. This would have been over the previous night, both before and after midnight. June's continuing to watch the same stuff. Boring. So Robin takes a break. Got to stretch my legs to get a bit of exercise. Yes, all the Halloween kit is ready for the next day. So I walk off down to the village and into the Comrades Club. Force myself to have a glass of wine, and yeah, 1 or 2 pictures. So there was horse racing from the States on at the time. Yes, the tracker says yes, there's Robin at the Comrades Club, or at least that's where the tracker is. And yeah, something weird happened on my phone, but not to worry. Yeah, making my way back now. There, the moon didn't come out too well, but not surprising. So took a few more pictures just to see what the low light pictures were like. A bit blurred, of course. Got back to the front porch. Yeah, June was just thinking of shutting down things, I think, so I do the same. And yeah, things. Oh yes, the Thunderbird email software decided to do an update, and at first glance I didn't recognise it, but it didn't take very long to work out the user interface hadn't changed significantly, at least the facilities I've been using. Where's June's tracker? Where's she put the tracker? Put it on charge. But not to worry, that's the end of that photo trail. Tuesday the 31st of October 2023, Halloween. So these pictures are not in exactly the order of the relevance, so a bit of fun with that device under the gnome in the porch. So the Halloween visitors, and we had 3 groups come in, noticed it. Oh, what's that? It caused a lot of amusement. And yeah, so that was obviously late in the evening. This is a summary of what happened that day. And I gave some of them a visiting card as well, so they could have a good laugh. Whatever. perhaps be educated by some of it. And June's off to tennis, and the trackers show that fine. Yes, that's where we want some mirrors to go lining those skylights. And Lena came round and gave her, well, took the information away to give June a quote for the kitchen bits. Yes, I decided to take a walk down to Direct Glazing, see if they can give a quote for the mirrors. On the way back, popped into the Flame Kebab. That was lovely, getting some advanced intelligence from trick-or-treaters who were about to do their rounds. Yes, it was Tuesday, so printed off the graphs of total deaths that wasn't only relevant to COVID. And yeah, so then we're into things happening, eating, the back end of the day, June watching stuff on the television I find rather boring, so I decide I'll get a bit of exercise and stretch my legs with a walk down to the village and into the Sunninghill Comrades Club, force myself to have a glass of wine, and yeah, I spoke to somebody there, and then back home, and June's watching the television, Toadie's relaxing with her. So that's the end of the summary. So now into the photo trail in the order the pictures were taken. Yeah, so June's getting ready to go off for tennis by the look of it. Make sure that she's got her tracker with her, so we found where it was. And yeah, Samantha's working from home. The boat's in a better position to get a bit of sunlight, and yes, all the peanuts had gone. Yeah, the sundial, I just wonder whether that needs a bit of white paint to make it work better. And yes, we've got that fart machine under the gnome. We're basically prepared for the trick-or-treaters later in the day. Yes, got a quote there for the mirrors to go inside. Not a quote, a request for quote. And yeah, there's the website, just hobbies and charitable causes. There's the spare Spot T2 tracker. June's just getting the car ready to go off for tennis. And yeah, off she goes. And so, yes, that's the front with the warning signs. And yeah, people would have seen this before. I've got to clear that drain sometime. It's an easy job, it's just finding the time to do it. Even if it's only probably half an hour or to an hour maximum. Yeah, so that's my spot tracker. Did I say spot tracker? No, that's my pensioner tracker. And yes, that works, of course, showing where I am. And then that's June's, and sure enough, it shows at the tennis court. So that's working okay. Then there's the spare Spot T2 Satcoms tracker, and yeah, it hasn't seemed to update. It says low power, but perhaps it'll update later. That's the key thing, it does tell you that the battery's low. Then the other tracker on the Snoopy page, and anybody can see where that is, and it will be going into the boat, but that's working. Shows at the tennis. It also says that's got a low battery, so that needs charging. I looked at the emails, and yeah, processing of the video, probably for the day before. And yeah, June is on her way back, so got warning of that. And yes, I expect she'll be appearing on the closed circuit TV. Yes, she is. So I can go out. Samantha's there still working. Shows you all the junk that's got to be cleared. And so June gets back. Yeah, there's the tracker. And of course, some of these pictures show all the rubbish. There's the boat. And yes, I realised that those solar panels needed to have the plastic removed. Afraid the house done on that day. Looks like I'm listening to the Radio 4 news. Lots of things all going on at the same time. And yeah, that was Howden's at Ascot, and the lady was coming round in order to measure up and give a quote for the supply of the kit. I think that was a scam call. That caused a lot of amusement. That looks like Lena arriving from Howden's, and so she measures up, and of course we went through this exercise some years ago, and June was all ready to place the order, but no, didn't like the terms. Howden's got a good reputation, so we'll see what quote we get. But of course the key is whoever puts the stuff in. And yeah, June's rustling up soup, so I have the remains of the soup for a lunch snack. It looks like I'm processing the video from the day before, looking at emails including quotes, and yeah, what else? Oh yes, just a reminder, that's where we want the mirrors put. I'm off down to the village now, and I can tell that it's in the middle of the day, and it was into direct glazing to see whether they can provide a quote for the mirrors. And on the way back, lovely time in the flame, and yeah, get back, yes, greeted by all the Halloween stuff, and so it's getting quite late in the evening now, I suppose. Well, not really late, because it gets dark early since we've changed the clocks. Yes, here's the first of the trick-or-treaters arriving, and they could hear that noise coming from that gnome. I wonder what that was. Oh, they can see the cameras, because there's warning signs about those. They gratefully take the treats and they leave, so that was caused some amusement. And yeah, put out the peanuts while there was a chance to do it, and listen to the news. Sad news, of course, at the moment. And oh yes, the COVID page update. So I updated the website with that latest graph. More trick-or-treaters, and yes, so here we go. Caught on camera. Looks like Dad overseeing things, and of course that machine is making noises near the gnome, and yeah, what's that? And of course that caused some amusement. You could see what was happening. Yes, that was what was under it, and you only had to press the button. So then June comes to the door. I think I probably did as well, and yeah, take the treats. So they're off. That all worked very well. June's rustling up dinner now, and I've printed out the graph update, put it its usual place with a pile of others, and yeah, check with Richard and Faye. Oh yes, they were handling the trick-or-treaters as well. Yes, June had the tennis on. The food's coming along. Yeah, the lights come on the boat. It did get a bit of light there, and yeah, just showing you all the junk around. And Halloween, I googled up on Halloween and read it, and yes, it was interesting. Did go back a long time, before Christianity even, and anyhow, so what are we doing now? Well, yes, time to take my share of the dinner, but into the lounge and into Robin's naughty corner, where I can enjoy that in a comfortable chair and watch the closed circuit TV. Also check the weather in terms of what it would be like if I decide to take a walk down to the village. Of course, there's a difference between the observation and the forecasted from the Met Office chart. However, that other one, Meteor Radar, it is only radar data, whereas the Met Office, I'm sure, can cope with no data from the rain radars. But anyhow, so what's this? Yes, more trick-or-treaters. This was the third lot of trick-or-treaters, and a lot of laughs there. They're saying, where's that coming from? So had a look at that. Yes, they got their treats. As I say, probably go up on eBay. And so I thought, went out, yeah, gave them the visitors cards. Should have put those with the treats anyhow. In slow time I might find something to educate or amuse, particularly if they're locals. So yeah, I had to keep putting my food into the microwave to heat it up because we got interruptions. June, right, I suppose June will be joining us sometime. Yes, next time we'll put the visiting cards amongst the treats. And yes, looking at my tracker, so where did I go? Yeah, just to check that it was working, shows the visit to direct glazing. Anybody interested would have seen that. No, can't imagine anybody was, apart from perhaps competition. Right, yeah, Toadie relaxing in the lounge, and yeah, lots of things going on in parallel. So June's watching that series Angel, and I'm looking at a fox coming live on just outside the patio window, eating the peanuts left on the top bridge. Yeah, so June's watching that. I find it rather boring, so yeah, let's take a walk down into the village, make a way out. It's very difficult to do that without setting off that very effective Halloween device. So walk down to the village, check out the camera in low light. Yeah, works well enough. Into the Comrades Club, force myself to have a glass of wine, and yeah, check the tracker. Yes, anybody would say there's Robin in the Comrades Club. Yeah, left an answer phone message for Paul, and yeah, noticed that should have the same stuff on the other side. So that was fixed after I got home. All those years I've been using that and didn't realise it only appears as it should from the front. So time to leave the Comrades Club and walk back home. Yeah, Poppy's out to remind us that that's coming up soon. And yeah, to the front door. Yeah, June's still watching the tennis. Did I say tennis? Watching the television. And yeah, bit of duct tape and marker pen, and yeah, that's good enough. Better than doing nothing with it. Put the pens back where they were. May not be the right place, but it's where they have been. And yeah, shutting down the PC by the look of it. And time to go up, and that's the end of the photo trail.
I warned you they would be long photo trails, but at least we got a record there. Yeah, quick glance at the garden. Telescope, haven't had a chance to do any work on that. The photo trails have more detail, but that's a glance of it as on 1st of November. So we're now going to drop into what wraps up the video, and it's on those two subjects, which were global warming and suggestions about the DVLA. And I think I started about here. Now, what I put on the screen, because global warming is rearing itself, it's something that's been on my grumpy page for years. The remarkable James Lovelock, who passed away on the 26th of July, his 103rd birthday. I'll read out what this says here. This has been on the grumpy page for years, not long after the publication of his book, Revenge of Gaia. We can't stop global warming, but we may delay it by a few decades to give us time to prepare for its effects. Vast areas of the world, including as close as continental Europe, becoming arid desert. Shrinking of habitable areas of the planet to much smaller parts of the planet, closer to the poles. The Earth will then only be able to support a small fraction of its present population, and there will be a need for massive migration. Places like the UK will remain temperate a little longer, so be an attractive destination. We need all world governments to cooperate to prepare for this inevitability. Also to agree things like reduce use of fossil fuels to give us a few more decades to prepare. And then it goes on. The above is not a quote, but how I remember what James Lovelock said in his book, The Revenge of Gaia, etc. That's been unchanged on my site for years. And right, well, the other thing I should mention, yes, retired, happy and spending that kid's inheritance, is for some time now I've not been able to drive due to, well, several mistakes at the DVLA. And what I will say is that I have new evidence of what happened inside the DVLA, which I won't publish yet because I'm still waiting for the reply to the letter which was delivered by recorded delivery to the head of the DVLA and also other people. So I'll put in at the end of this long video the video that's gone up, me talking about the DVLA, and basically in summary it says I don't want anybody to get into trouble, and that is definitely the case, and resigning is too easy. Problems need to be fixed. But quite honestly, that is a minor thing compared with all the other things that are going on in the world, not least wars, and of course what's in the background and very important is global warming. So let's run into that. Back in 2012.
Seen the launch of a transatlantic sailing attempt this morning in a model boat. Retired NATO scientist Robin Lovelock launched his Snoop Loop from Barton-on-Sea towards the Bahamas. It's already been tested over 5,000 miles on a lake in Berkshire. The model will be steered and tracked through a satellite system and by Snoopy, of course, and it should make the crossing in 6 months, if it survives, that is.
The most important thing of the lot, of course, is Snoopy the Viking, the skipper. I don't think he'd make it otherwise. We've also got another bit and piece here. This is a GPS logger that logs the position every 15 minutes. That was back in 2012. The guy that put this material together, including the live broadcast and what went up on the BBC website, is Ben Moore.
I just worry for Snoopy. Sport now and Hampshire.
Right, on to the next topic. Right. Now, I'm going to do this all in one take. All unrehearsed and unscripted, so sorry about that. What I'd like to happen, if anybody picks up on the DVLA story, is, as I say, nobody getting into trouble, and that's a genuine request, but when they find flaws in procedures where they don't cover certain things, be good if those are fixed. What I think would be useful for anybody looking at the DVLA and perhaps helping them is, first of all, their organisation chart showing the structure. Yes, it's well known who the head of the DVLA, remarkable woman, looking at her CV, and relevant to this story is the head of the health part. But it would be very useful to see, even if names aren't attached, obviously the names can be attached where they're public already, is how many people in each branch, how many people are reporting to how many. So a simple tree would help. I suggest that first of all. Then perhaps even more important is how many people working for the DVLA, even if you don't identify the individuals, are salaried by the DVLA excuse me, directly, as opposed to contracted through an agency or a business. That is very important, and we've seen what's been happening in places like the NHS for years. So that comes into the equation in terms of whether money is well spent, and of course the DVLA collects a lot of money. And there are probably other things as well. But as a starting point, I'd hope anybody that responds to this, I can't afford to get overloaded, we've got other things to do, many other things to do, and we'll be taking a holiday, that'll be public, yes. I'm tracked everywhere by different things, and in fact, if anybody's paranoid about it, anybody who's tracking somebody or looking at somebody's probably seen already. But at the end of the day, there's me wittering on, which is one of my main weaknesses since I was a little child. That's why if you put things up, clearly be careful what you put up, and often it can do some good. I'm now in the kitchen, and June's rustling up some food in a microwave for Samantha. The microwave was invented by James Lovelock, if you did not know. And here's Samantha, and of course there's tennis on the television, just for a change. So, oh yes, point out, holidays in we're going off to Sicily again soon, and into the hall. Yes, nice expensive paintings here. Yep, expensive little pocket camera, not expensive. And through into the lounge and out to wrap up this video by saying, look after yourselves, stay safe, and enjoy what days we have.